Hi guys, I'm Shmee, and this is a bit of a funny one, but the Vanquish is back. I'm just picking it up from my dad, so it's actually quite nice and cozy in the garage right here. Just a place we sometimes park cars. You can literally see that there is barely any room to get this wrong. It has to be perfectly parked. Unfortunately, he's cleaned it up for me and given it a full tank of fuel, so that's nice. And today I'm going to be taking the Vanquish out, taking that back to my place. Another one of these days with kind of errands, because I need to get some cars ready for Goodwood. So the McLaren's already cleaned and repaired. That's going to be going down to Goodwood Festival of Speed to be on display over the weekend. The GT8 I need to move out of my garage and probably clean it, because I took it up to Aston Martin and it's just covered in flies and stuff like that, and I'm not going to use it anytime very soon, so I'm going to put it away undercover, pack that one up for a little bit. And then I've also heard there are some pretty special cars out in town to go and have a look at. So I'm going to get started, take this home, get the GT8, take that to Posh Wash and go check out some awesome stuff. So you're going to want to see this. So let's jump in the Vanquish and get started. Okay, garage door, car, in we hop. By the way, it's not actually that dangerous parking the car here. You can see there's carpet at the front, and we always do it with somebody checking just to make sure nothing goes wrong. But this car's doing some good mileage. Anyway, let's start it up. I haven't driven it for a couple of weeks. Like I said, my dad has been enjoying it. I think he quite liked the car. He's still got it in sport mode. Cool. Obviously softer suspension though. I haven't driven it for a bit, so I'm looking forward to taking it out and putting the roof down too, naturally. I haven't really driven this car for a while. Obviously in April it did the Where's Shmee Euro Tour. In May I took it to Goodwood Supercar Sunday with all the cars for the photo shoot on the track. Then at the end of May we did Fuel Faction Douai with this car and with the GT8. But basically for the last month, I reckon, my dad's been driving it and enjoying it, who, by the way, he said it was too loud. He said the Vanquish is too loud, so it does have the fuse open, which makes a lot more V12 exhaust noise. But I'm going to put the roof down, which is pulling it in this car. So between this car and the LT Spider, one of them is pulling the switch up to put it down, and the other is pressing it down to put it down. So I always get in the cars and press it the wrong way. But we do have some sunny days in England, like today, and I guess I can enjoy it, hey? That's what the convertible is all about. And this car just looks so elegant and beautiful like this. And then if you pull the paddle, your manual, and you've got lots of this noise. Even just like a low RPMs like that in the town just sounds insane. Nowhere near the red line, but the noise is brilliant. It's addictive, guys. It's seriously addictive. But I'm going to take this back to my place, swap it around for the GT8. But it's just nice to be driving the Vanquish again, and I don't think I'm going to keep it for that much longer. I've alluded to this a little bit, obviously. I bought it short term for these trips that it's done. Maybe one more final outing if I go up to Scotland, like I mentioned in my previous video, something like that. But otherwise, it served its purpose brilliantly, and I might be tempted by a Vanquish S for next summer. But this one, ignore the squeaky brakes, it needs a proper run, is a very, very pretty car that serves a purpose, and it does it with a lot of style. Now's when it's going to get lovely and complicated, because I have to put this in that space and take that out. So let's work this one out. The reverse view then, with the Vanquish parked over there, and I've got both of the car keys, the cheapy Valet keys, but they do the job perfectly. Let's fire this up. Oh yes. And obviously don't forget the valve control switch, just to keep the exhaust open and even noisier. Right, shuffle time. Just listen to that burble. It's so good, I love that thing. And obviously this one too, the double blue Astons. Having these two together is always very special. But this is literally errand day at its finest. So I sort these out. Roof back up then. And are we done? There we go, roof movement complete. Windows, and off. And we car swap, and the funny thing is how you can barely even hear this over the noise of the GT8, and this is not a quiet car. But, goodbye for now, Vanquish, nice to have you back. Probably use that to drive down to Goodwood. In the meantime, I'm going to Posh Wash in the GT8. I tell you what, there is nothing better in the world than than that. And I was just thinking about the sound system in this car, because the Vanquish system, by the way, obviously when I turned the cameras off I had the music playing. The Vanquish Bang & Olufsen system is unbelievable. It sounds so good, and this car has a good sound system, but compared to the Vanquish, not quite there, because I didn't spec the B&O in full on it. But when you've got that soundtrack behind you, who needs it? Obviously, that is the argument all the time. But just driving this thing every time makes me smile. It's nearly done 3,000 miles, which is kind of cool given how far away from home it's been. It's been to Sardinia and all the way around Italy for a couple of weeks. But it's utterly amazing. So I'm not holding back on the mileage. I don't want to do something silly. Like normally when I get a new, I guess, flagship car in my garage, I do probably 10,000 miles in the first year. The LT's on about 7 or 8. But with this I'm going to take it a little bit more controlled, just so I can spread it out over years.
Vehicle stopped on shoulder ahead.
Ignore that, and yeah, just enjoy it for a long time without, you know, worrying about the fact that it's going to have many miles on it. So I'm only going to do things that I think are really cool with it. Occasional town drives, if the weather's nice and I want to drive it and it needs driving, but basically out on the nice roads in Italy or something like that. Over there are the cars I've come to see. We're coming back round. So that you know, by the way, 2 Paganis and a Koenigsegg parked at the Dorchester Hotel. So let's go drop this off, and then let's come back over and check out those. 1x GT8 left here then, ready for a wash, but as always, surrounded by nice cars, including this 488, which belongs to a friend of mine. He's just bought it, so congrats to him for that. It's looking very nice, even though black wouldn't be my choice of colour for the car. It needs brightness, you know, with all those shapes and swoops and things, to see the vents and that kind of thing. So outside this hotel, you get crazy lineups, and then you get what's in front of me now. So let me just come through, spin the camera around, and show you this little lineup of cars. So the Agera RS, the Huayra, you might remember this car, 1 of 25 in the world. I went out with the owner when he had just picked it up, took a look around it, the blue carbon with the gold leaf painted on it, really special car, amazing to see, 1,300 and something horsepower, plenty more than you could ever actually really need, but this is all real gold that you see on the car. It's painted gold leaf all around the car to give it the design, and the gold setting off quite nicely against the blue. Then next to that is the Pagani Huayra BC. VTM The King and Sparky bought these two, the Huayra BC and the Huayra The King. This is done, it's called King Tasma. It's done a bit like the Phantasma, which was one of the sort of special edition 760 Zondas, the 4th Zonda 760. So it's done in the red carbon with the tricolore stripes around the front. It's the BC, so it's got the scoop, that fixed wing at the rear. They've got the stickers on from the Vanishing Point Pagani Raduno Rally around Italy with both cars. But these guys big on Instagram, posting plenty of pictures of this one too, the King. But this car's special. It's obviously a Huayra BC, 20 in the world in total of those, 800 odd horsepower, exceptionally special. I went to the factory to pick up my friend Greg B's one, and even did a video driving that. If you haven't seen it, he gave me the opportunity to have a quick drive, but this thing is just cool. It's mega. I've been around Estoril in 1-2 in Portugal, the race circuit, but it just looks so nice. So it's modelled off that Zonda 760. There's now the Phantasma Evo. It's been updated to have 3 pedals, but this one is the paddles, of course. And then next to it here, the King, the car that we know, which if I come close and zoom right in, you can see the plaque in there. 1 of 1 of 1. I always thought that was quite cool, with the carbon, sort of clear black carbon, with the white painted accents over the roof, the side skirt, and the striking down towards the front, but with some red touches too, and also the tricolore on the door mirror, which is quite a neat touch. Pagani mirrors, always super nice, and looking good. So these cars are fairly special, shall we say. I mean, just looking at them lined up here, you've got millions between these. This must be $10 million, probably $10 million of cars, nearly, something like that. Something crazy. Looking at this lineup, 1 of 20 in the world, 1 of 25 in the world, even 1 of 100 in the world. It's not like there are lots of those. Even that's a pretty rare beast itself too. And yeah, just chilling outside the hotel, which is kind of cool. And I think they're all actually heading off today. These guys have been down in Italy for their tour, which is why the cars are dirty. They've been driving them, which is just so epically cool. As we know from the Agera RS, we went up to Gaydon in that car. I shot a video when I went up to see the inspection of my Vantage GT8. We went up in that car in inclement weather, which was kind of neat too. But the 3 of them just looking amazing lined up here. Just crawl around. Like how, no time spent looking at these, too much time. You can literally just, I think, stare at them forever. Anyway, probably should move on slightly. Just London things as a Russian 430 goes by. I'm thinking about that actually, that car from Russia. The two Paganis from the US here. And as if by magic, the cars are all open, so we can have a quick little glance at the engines. So, twin-turbo V8 back here. Then we've got the twin-turbo AMG V12 in the Huayras. This is super cool having a look inside them. This car's already done 2 and a bit thousand miles on the VC, but they've done 22,000 miles on the King, on the Huayra, which is just crazy. Obviously you're familiar with this car. The RS, if I can sort of squeeze through these door mirrors. This is a nice, like a obstacle course right here between the doors. Actually, these are 2 of the coolest sort of door designs of any car. The sort of ridiculous twisting Koenigsegg doors and then the gull wings of the Paganis. But the way they're all open is just awesome. Very neat, gentlemen, very neat. All closed back up, and it's time to hear the egg firing up. Oh, that's a beast. Look at the way the wing moves as well, super cool. Come round, it's gonna head out down Park Lane in a second. Does that not just look insanely awesome on the road? Sounds amazing too. So, 1 egg down, off it goes. Small little distraction on the way and nothing to do with that modified Aventador that's behind me, but 2 places I want to stop by, and there's an awful lot of traffic in London today. It is busy. Around the corner here is the HR Owen Ferrari Atelier, which is right in front of me. So the Atelier at the Berkeley Hotel is part of the Ferrari dealership, and in particular here is a LaFerrari Aperta with the doors up, so you can actually see how the new style sort of doors open rather than the coupe where they go more off the roof. But come on, that's pretty special. Always nice to see a LaFerrari Aperta in the yellow with the black. Pretty similar, if not identical spec to Greg's car that we picked up a few days ago. So check out that video. That was an amazing day down at the factory. But I just parked the GT8 up here around the corner on my way over to the storage. There's one other place I want to go to, which is back in town slightly. Let's head over there. And while we're here, this is Bugatti. Let's have a quick nose through the window. There's a Chiron back there. I've seen quite a few nice cars today, even if it's a showroom shot. This car in the sort of launch spec, the 2-tone blue with the light blue around the front, the dark blue carbon over the roof and the back. I drove the Chiron recently and it was just amazing. We went 225 miles per hour on the Autobahn in that thing. Well, not in that one, but one like that. Anyway, let's leave that for now. And over to storage, where the GT8 now packed up alongside the LT. So the LT actually needs to be unpacked up shortly to head down to Goodwood, but these 2 parked up with an empty space next to them. Of course, the FF is currently in Italy, awaiting me to return back there shortly. GT8 is going to stay sat, parked up for a while. And actually, a thanks to you guys, or a big thanks to one person in particular who told me that I could buy an adapter to plug in the trickle charger for the GT8 at the back. So I had been sort of fiddling around all through the car and plugging it in the rear parcel shelf, but there's an adapter socket in the boot, so I've now got a cable that just runs up through the boot nice and easily. Exactly the same as how the FF goes in, how the Vanquish goes in, and how the LT goes in as well, obviously in the front. But those all done. I guess another day of errands and a little bit of fun bumping into the Egg and the 2 Paganis and the guys there. So I'm going to pop their Instagram links down below as well. Go follow them, give them a check out, check them out and give them a follow. But pretty awesome, I guess, seeing those cars and seeing the Chiron and the LaFerrari Aperta. Just a day of hypercars basically in London and some errands, and now it's back home for me. But I hope you've enjoyed the sort of chaos, another sort of update with the cars, seeing what's going on. The Vanquish is back home, and yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up there. So thank you very much as always for watching, guys. Make sure you're subscribed for plenty more supercar videos, drives, adventures, random stuff like this, and who knows what else. And of course, the Goodwood Festival of Speed. I'll see you there. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll catch you soon. Cheers.